You guys, I think we have a pretty awesome transformation we're gonna do here today, man. This hair has been growing out for quite a bit of time. But the cut that we're gonna do today, do you wanna show me real quick? Guys, this is a haircut that I gave her way back in 2019. So we're gonna be trying to replicate that today, man. But yeah, this will be fun though. We're gonna do a lot of debulking. I'm gonna show you guys a plan that you can follow to get a nice drop fade, even though we have so much hair here to work with. And so, yeah, let's get into it. So I would definitely start with saturating the hair, right? We need to go ahead and saturate the hair so we can comb this all out. We can get everything in the sections that we need to. Because if we start organized, it's just gonna be easier for us to follow the system, right? And then the way that it's important to start the sectioning and combing out, right? You can see the hair is sprouting outwards from here. So right there, you can see that swirl, right? So we're gonna take this out here. I'm gonna comb. I'm gonna try to take the connection from this crown here. Now we gotta find where the growth splits here. You can see you have some hairs here that naturally grow downward. So let's follow that split right there, and I'm gonna connect that to the crown here in the back. Check this out, guys. Now on this side, we're gonna do the same thing. You know, you can see where this hair naturally splits, right? So let's go ahead and take control of that section there, and we're gonna work our way back to the crown again. You know, if we use the natural shape, the natural flow of the hair, it's not gonna fight us so much, right? The hair is not gonna be springing backwards. So this type of haircutting system, guys, is definitely inspired by the DFS formula. I'm gonna be studying it more just so I can continue to be, you know, like a better hair cutter, right? A more organized scissor cutter. But honestly, like, this is a pretty good interpretation of my current understanding of the DFS formula, my adaptation to it, right? So this is what we're looking at, guys. We want a foundation that we could do a nice drop fade on, right? So I could pull this here. I know I want the fringe to pretty much end around the eyebrows. So I'm gonna set this foundation here. This essentially is gonna clear out the space that I need where I'm gonna fit my fade. It'll set a foundation that we could work the top into as well. But my fingers are tight against the head though, guys, because I am gonna be running my foreguard up to this amount right here, up to this length. This is gonna be just establishing, this will be establishing shape and removing bulk. I'm gonna go ahead and work my way back up here towards, because I still want to make sure that I end right there towards the brow. So I could just do a little bit of scissor over comb here so we could soften this up just a tiny little bit. Little bit of scissor over comb, nothing crazy. We're just gonna soften up that shape now that we established it in here. You can see how with just a little bit of scissor over comb action, it really smooths out. And it looks less like a shelf, something for you to follow along. Put your head down a little bit. See here, we got shelf. All right, so now, couple snips, pick it up, couple snips, pick it up. Foundation is set, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and start removing these clips so we can pretty much break down the top now. So what's that gonna involve now? A little bit of resaturation, right? We're gonna bring the hair down. So check this out, guys. Look, I'm combing down. I can see these lines, right? I can see that the hair is naturally split in there, so I'm cool. I'm gonna follow that line right there. Bring this hair here, bring this hair over here. All right, let's bring this all down. Still centered around the crown. We're gonna go ahead and repeat these same motions again, guys. I'm gonna bring this hair down. I know I want it to end right there by the brow. So now let's bring it up. Let's go ahead and bring this up right here. So, you know, you can see right there, right? That's the previous guideline. We just gotta make sure that we don't let these top hairs flow over them. Right? And then it's gonna be real easy peasy just to go ahead and blend all these back in. Look again. See, that's the bottom layer. Let's make sure that we don't let those top hairs hang over. Keep it going all the way around. And then look, the last thing that I'm gonna do right here, before we attack the fringe, I'm just gonna make sure that the fringe is you know what I'm saying, that's gonna be the next thing that we do. But I'm just gonna very lightly go over this here, the scissor over comb motion again, just to make sure everything is staying softly blended, right? We're putting in all this work now, so that way, we just make it easier for ourselves when we go in the fade. You know what I mean? Everything is in the shape of a fade. Everything is in the shape of the fade already. Now we're gonna bring this hair over here, guys. We're gonna comb all this forward. So now look, but there is a section here where it's sticking out from here. So look, we'll do a little bit of point cutting right here. So look, that's gonna make sure that that hair does not go past the brow, okay? So here we go again. We're gonna do the same thing over here. You know, you use that textured point cutting, just gonna make sure that it's like a soft shape. You know, we don't want that to look like a hard edge. You know what I'm saying? Like, just gotta keep a nice natural flow. Cool, now, it's good to me. We're gonna trim and even out these two sides a few rows at a time. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's go ahead and put your head back a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up a few rows of hairs from the left and from the right. Now, when we elevate this, you're gonna see a short point on this side and a short point on this side, and we're gonna cut straight across. Let's bring a few more rows back. Look right here again. I'm gonna see a short point here. I'm gonna see a short point here. And we're gonna slice all the way across. And look, you know, when I say a few rows at a time, I'm talking about those lines of hair that were created when we, you know, with the comb, right? Those lines that are created there with the comb, those are the rows that I'm picking up. So again, I'm just gonna continue on connecting short point, long point. I'm gonna do some vertical sections all the way around too. Because again, I'm just gonna make sure that all of this is as smooth as possible, right? I don't wanna have any more challenges when I come in with the clippers. I mean, you can see that's a pretty solid shape right there. Using the method that we already have, that's a pretty solid shape. There's not much to remove. There's a couple hairs sticking out on that side. I think we're gonna see more hair sticking out back here. Let's see. I'm gonna elevate this. Yeah, here we go. Short at the bottom. We gotta make sure this is straight up. You know, a shape coming like that so we can make sure we still have length around the crown so that way we don't have anything crazy sticking out. This is looking pretty good. See that shape? See how it's like tight at the bottom coming out towards the top? All right, that's looking pretty good, man. I'm gonna be removing some moisture out of this hair so that way we can fade a little bit easier with the clippers. All right, so let's go ahead and use this. We're gonna go high heat and high speed. The blow dry is pretty strong, guys. You know, some people actually think it's too strong, like it doesn't give them enough control. But I really could feel the moisture being pushed out of the hair with my hand right here. I'm just doing what I can, man, with this blow dryer. I'm not a styling specialist, right? But I know that I want the hair to be dry, sitting in the direction that it's gonna sit for the finished product, for the finished style. All right, guys, look, man, I mean, y'all can see the top half of the cut is pretty much done, man. Like, that's really cool. Look, we're gonna just debulk a little bit here. I got my number 4 guard. Here. I'm just gonna go in with the lever close. You know, it's not gonna be super crucial to, you know, go open and then close here. I feel like the 4 closed, in my case at least, it matches well with the clipper, I'm sorry, the scissor length that I cut, you know, when it was finger tight to set the foundation. But that's something you got to learn about yourself, right? I think most people might have number 3 as their finger length. I've got the 4. You know, it blends in pretty well here. So we're just gonna continue debulking, man. I got pressure at the bottom and I'm elevating as I work my way up, I want to show you guys here what this would look like if it was just a guard. Pressure at the bottom, and then I'm working my way up and slowly going up, right? So that's what it's gonna look like. And my goal is to avoid hard lines with this, right? I'm not trying to give myself more work to do. I'm trying to give myself less work to do with a better result than I did back in 2019, last time when we did this haircut. So long ago, man. That's awesome. You still had that picture. That's so dope. I'm gonna go clipper close now here, guys. Check this out. Look, clipper close right here at the very bottom. You know, especially with this hair texture, guys, it's real important. I mean, I do it on most hairstyles anyway, most haircuts anyway. But especially with fine, straight hair like this, it's important to use soft lines. I would never, with this texture of hair, punch in a hard line with a trimmer for the sake of putting in the bald line for a fade. Put your head down a little bit. It's really going to be important for me, especially with this. Soft lines, clipper closed all the way. Clipper closed all the way. Let's set in this guideline. And we're going to keep it low. We're going to keep it low, right? This is a nice little drop fade. I'm going to want to see the C cup defined. Here we go, here we go. I'm just taking some time to really flick this thing out, just break it down, nice and soft. All right, next up, half guard. You could go with the half guard open. I'm sorry, with no guard open. You could do that, but I'm gonna set half guard close for the same reason. It's the same thing, guys. It's gonna be a softer line, easier to take out. I'm gonna make sure that this is nice and spread out too, bro. Make sure it's nice and spread out. I'm not gonna make it too compressed because I need spread. I need spread. I don't want this to look like a bowl cut. I think that's one thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that, like, my mission is to still keep it as a drop fade, but I want it more spread out than how I did back then. Just all the steps that I'm taking, guys, are gonna be real cautious, right? I'm gonna make sure that we just leave it real soft right here. So here, look, clipper open. I'm not breaking through that line at the top. I'm staying under it. I'm about halfway right here. More corner work. I'm not breaking through what I did with the clipper open. I'm being just barely underneath that. Here we go again, guys. Same thing here.
And your big brother just sit there laughing. That's the worst.
It's a very, very soft transition we're going for here. We're almost going to be using, like, where the hair stops growing above the ear. We're kind of going to use that as like the bald guideline that we're going to follow, right? Because I need space to keep this thing blurry. So that line faded. This top transition, done. We did that with the 4. We're gonna start working our way down now. I'm thinking I'm gonna go here with the 3. Let me get rid of this bristle brush too. Let me get this comb. All right, so here we are. 3, open. Straight up and down motions, man. Straight up and down motions. And we're gonna softly fade this wing down. Softly fade it down. Now, if you're feeling really confident, if you're feeling really comfortable, and the texture of hair that you're working on is you know, like receptive to it, maybe you could skip, like I do in some of my other videos, you know, skip from the 4 to the 1.5. But I want to show you guys here with this that I did what I do with the 3. Now we're coming back down to the 2. And now, you know, start thinking ahead, right? What's the next step after the 2? What's the next guard that's lowest? It's the 1.5 guard, right? We're gonna do what we can with the 1.5 guard. Then the 1, you know, just keep on working our way down. I'm not looking to over-assert myself with any one of these guards, man. I'm just really trying to look for a soft transition. So now here with the 1.5 guard, you guys should probably start to see this transition really coming together. And if you noticed, you know, with the 4, with the 3, and the 2, I actually never really closed the guard really. I kind of kept it open. When that guard's open, it gives it a slightly longer cut, which is a slightly softer cut. And that's kind of what the goal is here, right? So, you know, let's see if that changes by the time I get down to the 1. But right now, the 4, the 3, the 2, and the 1.5, I'm pretty much just rocking open. Still being very careful, guys, here. I got the 1 guard. I got the 1 guard here with the lever open. Still being very careful to keep a very soft blend. You know, my goal is to not leave any harsh lines, man. So I'm gonna go down about halfway.
Making the curry.
I'm taking that lever down about halfway, so I'm still really like being very careful. You know, I'm happy with how this is coming together, but I'm not getting too confident. Still being very careful here, man. Very soft transitions is my goal. So I did end up closing this guard, guys. We are at the one close now. It's just a lot of corner work, a lot of corner work. Trying to watch this thing just come together. We down here to the half guard, guys, now, and look, I mean, it's looking pretty blurry. Like, you can still see that faint weight line at the bottom, but you know, we took our time with all these different steps here. Yeah, man, look, now we back down to this half line. You see, we put in that first guideline with this half guard all the way closed. So if I start my way with this half guard open, right, just to keep that real soft blend going, and I slowly work my way down to being all the way closed, I mean, this thing should be pretty blurry without much corner work and much detailing required after, man. But yeah, let's see how this comes together.
That was crazy. No, look. The word part of that.
Y'all notice, man, like, even though I got the lever open, I'm still using like the corners, right? Just because it's that's how sensitive this hair texture can be, man. Got to make sure that it's just like smooth all the way through. Look, guys, this right here, man, this is where it all comes together, man. The satisfaction. We starting this fade right here all the way with that clipper closed. So now when I come up here with the trimmers, I mean, that just blends flawlessly into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this thing hits. We could be nice and strategic about where we place our foil shaver. You know, I like to go down with the grain too. I like a combination of with the grain and against the grain. It gives you that extra level of control with that gradients. That's funny. But we're pretty much coming to the end of this tutorial, man. Like really at this point, I'm just gonna put maybe a little bit of styling powder, you know what I'm saying? Like style it up a little bit. But yeah, if you guys like the tools that we've been using in this video, the links are gonna be in the description for the clipper, the trimmer, the blow dryer. I got discount codes for, you know, all the tools that you need, man, with a few different suppliers, man. So look, got them all in the description below, man. So let's go ahead and cue those finishing clips.